Good evening. I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about becoming a volunteer for the Big Sisters and Big Brothers organization. First, I'd like to give you a little information, a little background about the organization. Big Brothers and Big Sisters came to be because of a young court clerk by the name of Ernest Coulter. He was disturbed by the young men that were coming in and out of the New York judicial system. Because of that, he thought he might be able to get some caring role models for these young men that might be able to help them to steer their life in the right direction. Around this same time, and this was in the year of 1904, around the same time there was a group called the Ladies Charity Organization, which had the same vision that the young court clerk did, and that was to help troubled young women. So at that time, they both operated on different planes at different times, and eventually in 1977, they came together to form the one organization because they had the same goal, to help troubled young men and young women. And that's how Big Brothers and Big Sisters was formed. From that, they have expanded with about over 100 years of experience behind the organization name. They've helped a lot of young men and young women during their 100 years plus in service. They've also been responsible for operating in all 50 states and 12 countries. The Big Brother and Big Sisters organization is an organization that was put together to try to steer young men and women in the right direction. Even now, if you look at the things that are going on in the world now, you can see that young people do need some direction. The Big Sisters and the Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization not just have a mentoring program for a minute. What they do is the program actually helps the young men and young women. It helps them in their social skills. It helps them academically. It helps them to have confidence in their grades and their everyday life. The one-on-one mentoring part of the program is the driving force behind Big Brothers and Big Sisters. What it does is it matches up the right child with the right mentor, that they might have a lasting relationship. And it goes beyond just the time that they're together for their hour or 2 hours or whatever the amount of time is. What they do is they stay in touch with their mentee. They also stay in touch with the family. They stay in touch with the siblings to try to help to bring some cohesiveness into the family setting. We found out through research that the older children that are participants in the Big Brother and Big Sister organization, the younger children in that group are they're able to absorb the results of their older siblings. And the research says that because of the older siblings' participation, the younger siblings are less likely to enter into illegal drug, into underage drinking, into skipping school and cutting class. The Big Brother and Big Sisters organization has a way of helping young people to get on track. The organization is a group of role models that take out their time. There's no pay involved. The only pay that comes from, and there is a reward that comes from being a volunteer, it's knowing that as a volunteer you had a part in changing the direction of the life of a child. No one wants to see young people go down the wrong road. And as volunteers, if we could come together and be a good role model, a good example for these young people, in the end they'll have a successful life. And as adults, I think that would be a blessing at the end of the day, when you know you had a part in changing the direction of someone's life. Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization is an organization that stayed true to their vision. Even now, they're still doing the same thing, and local companies get training through big brothers and big sisters that the relationship between the mentor and the mentee might be long lasting. I believe that if we as volunteers could think about the life that we change with a young person, if we could take that young person and be their mentor, we could even at the end of the day be the person that could help direct and lead that young person into a different life and to a successful life. Being a volunteer is rewarding in the Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization.